$92 million extension headed the way of Courtland Sutton, which maybe paves a pathway for McLaurin and the Commanders to get a deal done, or doesn't. Maybe this complicates matters because you've got a Commander team that wants to underpay Terry McLaurin. You've got Terry McLaurin wanting to get overpaid, and then Courtland Sutton's $92 million extension might seem like a big number, but the per year number is 23. And McLaurin wants upwards of 35 million. So now we've got a big problem on our hands if McLaurin isn't going to adjust and adapt to this number, which is a very comparable number. They're close in age. They're both number one wide receivers for their team. I mean, this is a tough sell for Terry McLaurin at this point, to go to the Commanders and say, I want DK Metcalf money because Sutton's getting 23 mil a year. So we got potentially even maybe a worse situation brewing if McLaurin doesn't budge, because the Commanders are certainly going to take, I don't want to say a step backward, but they're going to maybe cement their feet into the ground. You never know. This could also trigger some sort of let's get it done before more contracts come down. It's hard to say. But all I know is that this deal doesn't help or bode well for McLaurin's asking price of DK Metcalf plus. Because right now, McLaurin wants 34 or 35 million a year, according to Schefter, because 33 million a year is what DK Metcalf got. And Schefter said today that McLaurin likely wants significantly more than $33 million per year. DK Metcalf's deal, $23 million. Let's talk about it. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
I stepped out to get food. It's in the microwave. I'm not microwaving it, but it's sitting there warming or staying as warm as possible. Your boy, this comes first. Pulled in. I pulled away. I got the alert. I was like, damn it. I went and got drinks from QT. And at that point, I'd already ordered my food. Food's in the microwave, and here we are. I'll eat it after. This is more important. I work for you. I work for you.
Let him cook.
Okay, so here we are again. And unfortunately for Terry McLaurin, unfortunately for the man that wants $35 million per year, we're looking at a situation where this 23 mil a year sets a baseline of sorts, whether Terry likes it or not. And the Commanders, you can bet their bottom dollar, are going to utilize this $23 million per year contract to try and negotiate Terry down into the real world setting. Now, maybe Terry got offered. Here's the other thing that I'm thinking could happen, though. Maybe Terry McLaurin was getting an offer significantly higher than this $23 million. Let's say he was offered 30 mil, and now he looks at this $23 million deal. This is probably, actually, this probably could be a more likely scenario. And then his agent comes to him and says, we better jump on this 30 mil. This just came down. The news of Courtland Sutton getting $23 million per year. The Commanders might pull this $30 million or $31 million or $32 million, or when Schefter says he wants significantly more than DK's $33 million, he might want to take that. He might, what is that? That's not an M. It's like, what is this? This is an M. I did like a McDonald's M. This is $33 million per year, let's say. We're going to take that. His agent might say, grab it. Remember, his agent gets paid when he gets paid. The agent might say, it's time. It's time. $23 million. We got screwed, Terry. Courtland Sutton took something that he shouldn't have, and this one hurts the whole team. This hurts the field. Let's go take that $33 million offer. Hard to know how this is going to play out. I believe that Terry McLaurin, there's that fly again. We got it. We got it. Or a gnat, whatever. There's a gnat in the building. This is really one of those things where it could go 1,000 different directions. It really just depends on the details, which we don't fully know on the Terry McLaurin front. We just have Adam Schefter saying he wants more than $33 million per year, which is what DK Metcalf got. This might change things for the worse. It might change things for the better. Maybe he jumps in that deal. Let's open the phone lines and talk about it. Also, Baker Mayfield renegotiating his contract to get some upfront money. He was guaranteed, I believe, $0 walking into 2026. And the team says, let's get him under a contract for 2026 so we can protect ourselves. And in doing that, give him $30 million per year. So $30 million for 2026. So Baker's going to get $30 million guaranteed for 2026. He gets to stay in Tampa. Tampa doesn't have to sweat bullets if he goes out and lights it up like he probably will this year with that receiving room that he has. So Baker, touchdown maker, Courtland Sutton, $23 million a year, kind of crapping on Terry McLaurin's hopes and dreams of milking the Washington Commanders for $35 million a year. What happens? Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Highly doubt that this thing makes McLaurin earn the $35 to $34 million. There's always a world where the team does something you don't expect, and who knows, but I highly doubt that this is going to make anything better for Terry McLaurin's argument, at least. Hopefully it triggers him into going into a acceptance mode, a frame of mind, if you will, of, hey, what I was being offered was actually fair. And hopefully McLaurin just runs right to the table, signs the deal, and says, here's the dotted line. I'm going to sign right here. Scary. Boom. And then he inks his $33 million offer that he thinks is disrespectful until today. So, I don't know. Hard to say. My initial reaction, and again, we digest this stuff live. I go live and then I think about it. That's how we roll here on the channel. But part of me, my initial reaction was that Terry might, get real upset at this, and the Commanders might potentially, lower their offer. And then that makes me, my initial reaction feel like, okay, maybe this thing could get done because Terry races to the table. It's kind of hard to say. Sutton had a great year last year. Pulled in 1,000 yards. Wasn't it 8 touchdowns? So these are very comparable wide receivers. Courtland Sutton, probably. If I had to say, I would say I would pay Courtland Sutton a tiny bit less. If we're being honest, but if I was making, a contract and drawing it up, but I think you can make a strong case that these guys deserve the same money though. 6'4", 216-pound Courtland Sutton, who just pulled in an amazing 81 receptions, 1081 and 8 touchdowns. He was 16th in the league in yards. He was 21st in receptions. He was 13th in touchdowns. Very, very solid year for the young man who's 29 years old. Younger than Scary Terry. I mean, one can make an argument that Scary Terry might be a tad better, but he's a year older. So maybe that washes. This is what Sutton pulled in last year. 81, 1081, and 8. A lot of 8s in there. And he's doing it live. So you gotta tip your hat to the young man. And then you get his stat log on screen. Let's pull it up. This is a pretty solid career. It's not quite as established and consistent as Scary Terry's, who's been dealing with no quarterbacks, and he's frustrated. I understand where Terry's coming from. He wants to get paid now that he finally has a quarterback. It just sucks. The timing is bad that he's potentially, nearing the end of his twilight years. This is Courtland Sutton, who has suffered an ACL injury, and there's been injury in his past, but this is a guy that's consistently scored touchdowns. 6 touchdowns in 2019 when he had his 1,100 yards and 72 receptions. 2023, he still had 10 scores on 772 yards. That was a weird year for him because it was 59 receptions, 772, and 10 TDs. And it kind of made him look like a paper tiger kind of made him look like a player that maybe couldn't walk into the next year and be a significant yardage getter, reception getter, and that the touchdowns were an anomaly, and that regression was probably in store. So, was he an anomaly? No, because he comes in and he drops a 81 reception, 10, 81, and 8 touchdown season. This is worth more than $23 million, to be honest with you, comparatively to the fair market. This is probably I would say this is a $27 million a year receiver. If I was making and drawing up this contract, my guesstimation is that we're paying this man 27, at least 25, but $27 million per year off of 18 touchdowns in 2 seasons. And just to put that into perspective again, and I know everyone thinks I don't like Puka Nacua, but Puka Nacua has 9 touchdowns on 28 games on his career. So kind of remarkable, though, in a way, when you talk about value and what somebody brings to the table for their team. Puka Nacua, 9 TDs on 28 games. Courtland Sutton, and touchdowns matter. I mean, that's an important stat. Courtland Sutton, 18 TDs, not across his career. That's in the last 2 seasons. So last 2 seasons, Courtland Sutton, 18 touchdowns, Puka Nacua, 9 in 28 games. So kind of a interesting point to make. And you look at Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's had a very stellar career. It's just unfortunate. Again, he's a year older. Terry McLaurin, let me pull up his stats here. And then Bruce, I'll be with you in 1 second. Just hang tight. Terry McLaurin's stats, again, he's 30 he turns 30 here on the 15th of August, so he isn't quite 30 yet, but he comes in and has a very similar season. Very similar, minus he has more touchdowns, which, again, is kind of the talking point here. Puka Nacua, 9 touchdowns in 29 career games in the NFL. He's not crossed over freaking 10 touchdowns yet, but Terry McLaurin and Courtland Sutton are touchdown phenoms, it looks like. Scary Terry bringing in 13, so very similar game log. Look at those numbers: 81, 82, 1081, 1096, 13.3, 13.4. These are identical wide receivers minus the touchdowns, but they're still both great numbers: 8 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns. Wow, those are really close stats from 2025. That makes you really, really appreciate Courtland Sutton, to be frank. And then if we pull up Terry McLaurin and look at his career stats, they're going to be more impressive, but you're not so much paying for what someone's done in the past. Courtland Sutton has had injuries. He's back in the saddle. He's looking like a consistent 8 to 10 touchdown wide receiver now. So do you pay him based on some injuries and missteps and not having as consistent of a career? I think you got to look at what they did last year. I think you got to look at what they did the year prior. And Scary Terry has a 13 touchdown season there at the bottom in 2024. Last season, I just showed that to you. And 1096. But the year prior, 4 TDs. The year prior, 5 TDs. The year prior, 5 TDs. 4, 7. Consistent 1,000-yard receiver except for his first year. This is a very consistent player. 17 games, 17 games, 17 games, 17 games. And then his early two seasons in 2019 and 2020, he only played 14 and 15. But this is a consistent player. Not suggesting that Terry doesn't deserve maybe a tad more. Well, he certainly deserves more than $23 million because I think Courtland Sutton got screwed. I mean, of course, we'd all love to make $23 million a year. But we're not talking about you and I. We're talking about the fair market value of the NFL. And Courtland Sutton took a bath on this one. He could have easily got $25-27 million. Now, he is older. Maybe he didn't want to debate it. Maybe he knew the Broncos weren't going to budge. They're gonna be cheapskates about it. And he just said, look, let me just get to work. And I appreciate that. I respect that. I don't look down upon the man at all. Accepting a $23 million per year deal. We commend him. We celebrate. If only we could. But it does maybe sour Terry McLaurin's hopes and dreams of beating out DK Metcalf's $33 million per year. But very, very interesting looking at these two gentlemen. This is Terry McLaurin's stat log from our game stats from last year, and this is Courtland Sutton's. 8 TDs for Sutton, 13 for Scary Terry, but almost identical across the board. And the fact that Sutton had scored 10 touchdowns the year prior, maybe Sutton has proven in a little small window of time, in the 2-year window, maybe he is more valuable than Scary Terry to his team. And look, Bo Nix is going to take a big step forward. JD5 is going to take a big step forward. This is a big year for both the wide receivers, both the old men. Brucey, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. I got a question. I don't know if it popped up or you answered it, but what was the guarantee on that Sutton deal?
We're still waiting on the details. The details aren't always made readily available. Let me see if I can find out the. I don't think it's out yet, but let me just keep refreshing. $92 million. More on the Courtland Sutton extension. Let me see if Adam Schefter is breaking down the actual guaranteed money. That's what we're waiting on because it is the most important part of the deal. But this does set a baseline. Sutton 29 is set. Hold on one second. Was set to enter his final season of his 4-year, $60 million extension. He finished with. Okay, let's see. I don't see it. We don't have details on the guaranteed money yet.
Because here's my. I have an opinion on that, and I could be wrong, and you could tell me I'm wrong. But let's say his deal is it's $92 million, 4 years. What if it's like $85 million guaranteed? If you're Scary Terry, wouldn't you say, you know what, I'll take that deal?
Well, I mean, you make a great point, and this is why we're waiting. The guaranteed money, as I said on the earlier live stream on Terry McLaurin, is the important part. So. From a contract perspective, if I was, an advisor or an agent or an accountant or somebody's, go-to person for this matter, and I'm looking for advice, I don't care if I'm getting $22 million per year. I mean, there's a perception to it. It's like wearing a gold chain. You want it to be real. You want it to be bigger. You want it to be more expensive than the guy next to you. But at the end of the day, $22 million or $35 million doesn't really matter. If you're going to do 22 million times 4, or let's just for simple math say you're going to give someone 100 million guaranteed, but you're paying them only $25 million per year times the 4 years, but this is 100 million guaranteed, that's better than getting 35 or even $40 million just to really kind of hammer home the point. I'll give you $40 million guaranteed for I'll give you $40 million per year, Bruce, for a guarantee of $55 million. But I'll give you $40 million a year times 3. But you're only getting $55 million guaranteed. This deal of $100 million guaranteed is better. You have to play more years, granted. But so even if this was like a 104, whatever, times 3, so $120 million deal. If you're only guaranteeing somebody a guaranteed amount of $55 million, you're wanting the $100 million guaranteed. I'm not saying that those things are usually that out of balance. I'm just merely pointing out that if I'm Scary Terry, it really does come down to the guarantee. And Sutton might be getting $23 million per year, and that does seem like a low ball number, but maybe his guarantee is $65 million, and that's okay. That's actually pretty good. I like that. I like that for him. If, let's say, they might have went to him and said, we'll give you 25, but we're only going to guarantee you 60. Who knows how that negotiation went. So Scary Terry, doesn't matter what the number is. It's all about the guaranteed money if he's going to get a guaranteed amount of, I imagine Scary Terry's trying to get 70 mil guaranteed, and they're way off on that. I'm sure the team wants to give him somewhere between 50 and 58, maybe 50 and 65. I don't know. Who knows? Hard to say what the guaranteed money is going to look like. Really, really hard to say.
Okay. Oh, I did that Worthy thing, and I had to get your opinion on this. He wants Worthy and 2 first-round picks for JD5. Would you still do it?
Worthy, and it's a 1 QB?
Yeah.
2 first-rounders? Yeah. And what's your team look like if you do this? What are these first-rounders going to end up being? Hit me with your team. You'd have JD5.
I'd have JD5. I'd have Harvey. I'd have Hampton. I'd have Hendy. because I made that. I had Barkley last year, and I shipped them all for all first-round picks, so they'd all be next year's.
Okay.
I have MHJ. I have Neighbors.
Wow.
And my tight end is Ferguson from the Cowboys. I only have one tight end.
Fergie. Is Arroyo available on waivers? Arroyo? Make sure you grab him if he is. He's a superstar. He's a moon man.
Yeah.
The moon man.
He's available?
Moons in outer space.
Okay, why is he not on your roster, Bruce? Haven't you even been watching the show the last handful of days and weeks?
Space Monsters.
Well, I have. I just didn't know.
Get on that. Get on that. Arroyo's maybe your new starter. Okay. So, chat, I think I could speak for everybody. I believe. Can you guys back me up on this? That Bruce's team is so good, he's giving up, if he gets JD5, he's giving up a 1.12, a 1.11, a 1.10 at the bare minimum, unless injuries strike, which you can't. You almost have to with MHJ and Neighbors. Who's your third receiver, just out of curiosity?
Mine is Cooper Kupp.
Okay, so you work on that. Work in progress, but definitely go get Arroyo and do it now. Chat, are we in agreement? It's okay to give up Worthy and the 2 first-rounders for JD5. It's a heavy haul. I'm not gonna lie, it's still a lot, but I think you gotta smash this.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't sure, and then there is like free agent receivers out. I mean, like I have free agents out there, but I was like kind of like, eh.
He's got Goff as his quarterback, by the way. So
I got Goff.
Solid team.
I did have London. I forgot. I do have London too.
Whoa!
I remember the first time I said I was.
Bruce.
I'm in so many leagues.
Really, this is a really disrespectful live stream right now. You turn this fiasco into. I said, who's your third receiver? You say Cooper Kupp, and you go, oh, I forgot. In this grandma league, this 8-man league you're in, I forgot. I got Drake London as well. I got Drake.
London.
He's on the bench.
London, I usually keep as my flex.
Yeah, that makes sense. To keep him in the dungeon. I usually keep London under the stairs in this league. Is this an 8-man league? This is not a 12. I know that.
No, it's a 10.
Yeah. Okay. Do the trade, Bruce. Get JD5. Take London, MHJ, Neighbors, Harvey, Hampton, Hendy, and JD5 to the Super Bowl. All right. You do know that MHJ is your flex, right? That London and Neighbors are your 2 starting. Yes, Bruce. Let's put some respect on London's name. Get him out of the flex spot. I don't like that. It doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, I can't stand when people put their best player in a flex spot. You know, or when someone lists off their team and they're like, "Oh, here are my wide receivers," like you did, Bruce. MHJ, Neighbors, Cooper Kupp. Oh, Drake London. You read it off with respect. Neighbors, London, MHJ, then your boy Cooper Kupp.
I forgot I traded for Kupp.
Got him.
That's how I got Harvey and Hampton. Is I shipped.
No one cares
Barkley
about how you got Cooper Kupp. We care about the fact that you got MHJ, Neighbors, and London. You're doing it live. Go smash the trade.
No, London. That's how I got London. I shipped Barkley.
Thick Kupp. All right. Hey, appreciate you, Bruce. Call back if you got another one.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. As far as some people are saying that $41 million is looking like the guaranteed amount of money for, let's see, for this deal. It does sound like it could be around 41 million. We'll have to see. That does put maybe, if that is true, 41 million. Let's just say. Is anybody else seeing that as a locked in number? Let me see if I can find the guaranteed money on Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton contract. I don't know if we're getting that number yet. Let's see. Some people are saying 41, but it might be a guesstimation because I'm not seeing anything concrete on it yet. 4-year deal. Let me see if it's up yet. 4-year deal. $92 million. 41 guaranteed is the confirmed number. 41 guaranteed. Yeah. Good on whoever said that. Average annual salary, $23 million per year. Here are the deets on that. Put it up on screen. The potential. We had that guy calling the other day with all the abbreviations from Generation BS. Not Generation X, it's Generation Moron. Courtland Sutton signs a 4-year, $92 million contract with the Denver Broncos that includes $41 million guaranteed. $41 million guaranteed. That's, I mean, look, think about it from this perspective. $23 million times 2 is not even what he's getting. So, he's not getting 46, he's getting 41. So he's not even getting 2 full years, guaranteed. I think McLaurin's sticking point is going to have to be around the 50, 55, and even then, I don't know that the Commanders are going to fold to that anymore. I think that they're going to be looking in the 40s. And so maybe Adam Peters and the boys say, he says 45, we'll take it, but we're not taking anything in the 50s. So McLaurin's going to have to check himself and say, look, Sutton and Terry have the exact same, pretty much, other than the touchdowns, game log from last year or stats. And if you consider Sutton's 10 touchdown season last year and Scary Terry's 4 touchdowns, you've got let's see, Scary. So Sutton's got 18 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Scary Terry, regardless of having no JD5 until now, he still only has the 17 touchdowns to bring to the table. And Sutton's, scoring more touchdowns on average, even with bad quarterback play himself. So I don't think McLaurin's got much of a leg to stand on. I wish Jerry would step down as GM, says Sam. Sam, thank you for the super chat. He said he contemplated it, and then he said, nah. So maybe there's hope for next year that he'll step down, but Jerry's awful. Go ahead. You are live. William, what can I do for you? Or whoever this is on the phone line. 413, you're live.
Hey.
What's up?
That's me.
What's up?
Smitty? Trade question. Would you trade Blue for Milrow and Arroyo? Dynasty Superflex.
Blue for Arroyo and Milrow.
Yeah. I have Josh Allen and Herbert as my QBs. But my RBs are kind of stacked too. I got Gibbs, Chase Brown, Achan, and Hampton.
Who's your tight end?
Tight end, I got Kincaid and Kraft.
Kraft's pretty good, but I like Arroyo.
Yeah. And if Milrow ends up being what you're saying, he could potentially replace Herbert.
By the way, Treylon Burks waived by the Titans just now. I thought Cam Ward said he was the best receiver in the league. I remember when Cam Ward was playing Madden and everyone was trying to predict where are you getting drafted to? Who are you getting picked by? And he's like, I don't know. Tony Pollard is the best running back in the league. Treylon Burks is the best wide receiver in the league. And everyone's like, I guess you're a Titan. But he got waived. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say Arroyo to me, even though I like Kraft scored 7 touchdowns last year, which is actually like really shocking if you don't look at that data. I like Milrow a lot. I love Jaden Blue. This is tough. I probably take Arroyo and Milrow in a superflex because I think in the worst of worst scenarios, bro, Arroyo and Blue, there's gonna be an argument to be made there if Arroyo's as good as we think he's gonna be, and they're both moon men.
The moon men.
Very important to note that Arroyo here, Blue is right here. We love them both, and Milrow is a mid-season monster, so important to note that. So you're getting 2, spacemen. I'd probably say in a superflex, I take the chance on Milrow.
All right, sounds good.
Is Milton available on waivers? I doubt it.
No, he's not. He got snagged up. Yeah. The owner of Milton, he's super hard to trade with. I've tried.
I tried to warn everybody about these guys in Superflex.
If I could keep Blue, I would. You know what I mean? But,
yeah. Go ahead and do the deal. I love Blue, but he isn't guaranteed anything. But I think he will take it. Yeah. But Arroyo,
I got Durando on my bench.
Yeah,
I got guys on my bench that hopefully pop off, like Crosby Merritt. There's some other guys there that
Arroyo.
I'm like willing to.
Yeah,
go ahead,
Arroyo is pretty guaranteed. To get the volume. So, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Later.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, Treylon Burks. I mean, it's good for all those wide receivers in Tennessee. Ridley uptick in value. Not that Burks is taking anything, but what it really does is it gives those young bucks a chance to really kind of get, with Burks is gone. Let me just make sure on the Cam Ward on Burks 5 days ago. He's going to be one of our best targets this year. Burks is gone though. So that's not going to happen. So Burks waived, and then, so A.O. Minor potentially gets an uptick in value.
Stock on the rise.
Restrepo uptick in value. And it's not that Burks was good or taking like too much away from that would affect Ridley. Ridley's going to get his. But this gives these young kids a chance to develop quicker. And so we'll know what they are a lot quicker. I like Ward. I love how Ward, can command a room and everything. But you do got to start growing up on when you talk about players. You can't just say everybody's the best. You can't be like John Gruden. So if Ward was to work on something, it would be trustworthiness. You can't. You got to be able to say, no, we like him. He's good. You can't say he's going to be the best. He's going to be the best. He's the best in the league. You got to be honest with yourself. So Ward needs to work on that. That part pisses me off. Like, go to the podium and be honest. Okay, it's funny and you're playing Madden and you say it, and everyone's joking around. You're like, Pollard's the best running. Where are you going to get drafted? Pollard's the best running back. Burks is the best. Okay, so you're going to the Titans, but like literally, you walk up to the podium. The Titans logo is behind you. All the marketing's around you. It's clearly a press conference, and you're like, Burks is a star, and then he gets cut. Like you got to start being somebody we can trust. The words coming out of your mouth. Love Cam Ward though. Fantastic player, win a league player. I think I still have this up. I'm not sure. There it is. That video is up on the YouTube channel. Go watch it. It's the 4 best quarterbacks outside of the big guns that can help you win a league. Ward is a remarkable double-digit round quarterback. Penix Jr. is going in like 9, 10, whatever. Nix is going in 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, really. And Mahomes going in 5, 6, 7, 8. Depends on where you're drafting. Underdog, he goes in 7. Sometimes around 8. And then in home leagues, Mahomes can go 5. He really can. But he's worth every penny. No matter what, from round 5 to round 8, Mahomes is worth it. It's just a matter of, are you lambasting your league in an extreme fashion, a medium fashion, or a relatively significant late fifth round is still lambasting your league at the value. Honestly, he can earn that. So just try and take advantage of what you can. But these are the best values in fantasy at the quarterback position in terms of cost of entry. Penix, Ward, Bo Nix, Mahomes. Go watch that video and do it live. As for this topic, I'll take 2 more phone calls if you guys want to, and if not, we'll be back at 8 p.m. This is our second live stream of the day. We've had 1 video upload. I'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern like I am every single Monday through Friday. Then we're live at midnight Eastern drafting on Underdog, and if you want to draft with us tonight, please hit this link now. Don't try and scramble and get into the draft later. Hit this link here. Sign up under code Smitty. Code Smitty gets it done as well, but this code this link will insert the code for you. It takes like 5 minutes, and they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. The minimum's only $10 though. So it's a minimum of $10. Sign up, they'll give you $5. If you do $20, they'll give you 10. You do 100, they'll give you 50, but you only have to do $10. And the drafts that we draft tonight will probably be the $3. If they're still up, they might be gone, or they might be gone by tonight. But if not $3, we'll do a $10 draft. So $10 draft, $10 minimum, they'll give you $5. Join it, and we'll draft tonight. But we're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That show is upcoming in about 4 hours or whatever. And then we're live at midnight Eastern, and I'm also additionally live whenever big news breaks, and this is our second live stream of the day. Just make sure you go watch this video I uploaded this morning on the channel as well. One more phone call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
One more phone call. (951), you're live. What can I do for you? What's your name?
It's Eli.
What's up, Eli?
Yeah, I was calling. Do you think it's a good strategy to come in by thinking like I want to get 2 RBs early, or is it just a value thing and like mainly the first 5 rounds in a draft?
Well, as I always say, bro, and I don't know if you've watched me for long. I don't know if you just got here or whatever, but you're always going to hear me say that you can't plan this stuff out, man. You got to go with flow. You also got to know what your league mates' tendencies are. You got to, it's not something you can just say. If somebody tells you to go running back early, bros, don't listen to that. Unsubscribe to that person and walk away. Like, there's no way you could possibly know. Bro, it's the equivalent of me telling you to go into a chess game, and on the 5th move, I want to move your pawn to the middle of the board. Or the king, move your queen to the middle of the board on the 5th move. Well, what if the board doesn't look appropriate for that? Doesn't matter. That's where I've seen people win. Like, you cannot plan on anything. The only thing I can tell you is that if you are drafting running back early, it's a 10-man league. I am more prone to that, going running back in a 10-man league than I am in any other format. Is it 10 or 12?
This year is going to probably be 12.
Okay, so 12. I like balance more than anything, running back, wide receiver, or wide receiver, running back. But I'm not scared to go Bucky and Genty. Let's say Genty in 1, Bucky in 2, or Bijan in the middle of 1 and Bucky in the middle of 2 if you get lucky. I'm not scared to go London and London and Genty. I'm not scared to go London and Bijan. I'm not scared to go any of those combinations, but you just got to know your own league. And if wide receivers like Rashee Rice and MHJ and Garrett Wilson will be there in like the 3rd and 4th round, and Travis Hunter in the 5th round, maybe 6th round, and Debo in the 6th round, you can clean up at wide receiver. You'll be fine. And if you go early wide receiver, Harvey, Hendy, Hampton, Breece Hall, Kyron Williams, all those guys fall to the 3rd and 4th round sometimes. So like, you're fine there too. There's no right way to do this other than to test the temperature of the draft as you roll through it. You cannot commit yourself to some sort of put a blindfold on. Go in your draft, and I want you to sort by RB only and just start drafting RB. Like, that's what you're asking. You know what I mean? Like, when people say that, it's like, you can't do that. And I hate when people give people that advice. It drives me nuts. Because then they think that that's the right way to do it. It's not.
Yeah, I know I had a few mock drafts, and I realized like Rice and Wilson, they'll fall to like the 3rd and 4th round, and I'll draft 2 wide receivers, and I'll be like, well, I'll go ahead and just take them guys, even though I have damn near 4 number 1 wide receivers and no back. I'll just wait to get Harvey or Pacheco and them 5th, 6th, 7th round, kind of get value from them. And
I mean,
you said what?
No one's saying you should draft like 2 quarterbacks early in a non-best ball or anything like that, or draft 2 tight ends because of the, like taking. There's no offense to anybody watching, but there's not a more uneducated fantasy football drafter in non-best ball than the one that goes Bowers and then McBride in a 1 tight end. That is the definition of an anxious Angus that doesn't know how to play fantasy football. So like no one's saying to draft, look at the board and say, well, that's the best value. Like it's got to fit within the confines of your lineup and what you need to do, what you need to take and what your expectation is for the positions as well. You got to know. That's what knowing your league means. When people say know your league, it's not just about know your scoring. That's important, but you need to know where players are going to fall.
Yeah, I guess I know in my league last year, guys took quarterbacks early. Like, so I'm kind of already knowing like guys are going to do that this year.
Let them. Nix will fall. Penix will fall. Yeah. You get Bo Nix and Penix Jr. or something later. You'll be fine. All right, my man. Okay. All right, call back if you got another one. I'll be back at 8 p.m. later. All right. I think I'm out of here. Going to go eat that food that's in the microwave. It's eggs, bacon, a potato. Courtland Sutton getting his bag on. Thank you for the super chat, Sam. You're the man. Appreciate you, my boy. And we'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is like about what, 3.5, 4 hours, something like that. See you all in just a little bit. Don't forget to get on over to my Patreon. Dooney, you just joined, right? Appreciate you doing that. $10 a month, cancel anytime. It's like a cup of coffee. Try it for 1 month. It's not like you have to commit to it long term. Just cancel anytime. Although if you do sign up for the 1 year, all at once, I think it's like 2 months off. So it's like I think it's like $90 something for the whole year instead of the $10 a month. So you could do that, but you don't have to. It's $10 a month, cancel anytime. And it is one of the best places to get advice because it's 365, 24/7. And your boy Smitty literally, checks in constantly in the live chat. Constantly. Now, you can't just like at me and say like, Smitty, answer this question. Like I'm not monitoring everything to that degree, but I'm coming in 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 times a day. And I'm looking for stuff to answer. I'm posing questions, and it's just an amazing live chat experience. So if you need a hangout, like even if you don't have a group chat, you hear about everybody go, hey, my group chat. And you're like, I don't have a group chat. Well, now you do. Now you do.
Let him cook.
All right. I'm going to pin that Patreon link in the live chat. Make sure you hit that underdog link that's there as well. The Patreon link I'm going to pin right now. So join the Patreon. I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. I'm live whenever big news breaks, and I'm live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Dooney in the building. We need a Bo Nix video.
Get buckied.
Coming week 1, the Throne Men, the in-season bold predictions board. Only during the in-season, the Throne Men. All right, see you all in a bit.